What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, former three-division world champion, former unified lightweight world champion, superstar boxer Vasyl Lomachenko takes to social media in an interview he did and discussed his loss to now undefeated unified lightweight world champion superstar boxer Teofimo Lopez. If you didn't know, Vasyl Lomachenko lost a unanimous decision to Teofimo Lopez. He was the favorite, that being Lomachenko, going into the fight with Teofimo Lopez. Many people had Lomachenko as the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the world. And so Lomachenko just cannot accept the fact that he lost to a young, hungry, upcoming fighter in Teofimo Lopez, okay? He just cannot accept it. Now, this is not the first loss on the resume of Vasyl Lomachenko. He lost to Orlando Salido, who was a world champion, but he was a journeyman in a sense. And Lomachenko lost to Orlando Salido. Now, that was early in his career, but nonetheless, he already had a blemish on his resume. Now, Lomachenko is stating that at the very least, he thought that the fight was a draw. He says either he won the fight, it was a draw. He says, but there's no way you could give Teofimo Lopez the victory. Now he's saying that he believes that the judges were all paid off to favor and go in the direction of Teofimo Lopez. He says that somebody bribed them, somebody paid them off, thus the reason why I didn't get the decision. Wow. So Vasyl Lomachenko is now accusing the judges of being paid off and bribed to go in the direction of Teofimo Lopez. He just cannot accept the loss. With that said, Vasyl Lomachenko needs to really rewatch the fight because he lost rounds 1 through 7, clearly 1 through 6. If you felt like giving him round 7, okay. But 1 through 6, he lost, rounds 1 through 6. He didn't throw double-digit punches until the 8th round. Now, I gave him the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, and 11th round. But Teofimo Lopez won the 12th round clearly, big. It looked like he was on the verge of even stopping Vasyl Lomachenko in the 12th round of that fight, right? But due to an incidental headbutt, which had, of course, Teofimo Lopez to suffer a cut, the referee called a halt to the round, and the doctors had to evaluate Teofimo Lopez's injury before they let the fight continue. And then there was only so much time left in the round, which saw Teofimo Lopez. They had to get back in the groove of things. Obviously, he lost the momentum and the round ended. But it looked like he was on the verge, of stopping Vasyl Lomachenko at that point in time. And you cannot argue, he won rounds 1 through 6. Clearly, Lomachenko wasn't throwing any punches. He was very hesitant. So there's a lot of allegations going out towards other boxers. And there's going to have to be a lot of investigation going on within the sport of boxing. Now, we know his very, very close friend, Usyk, who was a undisputed cruiserweight world champion, turned heavyweight contender, and is the mandatory challenger for the WBO belt that's held by two-time unified heavyweight world champion British superstar boxer Anthony Joshua. He's the mandatory. He just recently fought Derek Chisora, a British heavyweight contender, and Usyk, who's a fellow countryman of Vasyl Lomachenko and is a very, very close friend of Vasyl Lomachenko. Usyk is stating that that Eddie Hearn, right, and his management team tried to pull the wool over his eyes. He's saying that Derek Chisora had no padding in his gloves, and when he made his ring walk and got to the ring, he realized that the ring was significantly smaller than what he agreed upon to give Derek Chisora every opportunity to be successful in the fight, thus removing him from the WBO mandatory position, so that way they could go ahead and try to push forward, at least on their end, for Anthony Joshua Undisputed Showdown with two-time heavyweight world champion British superstar boxer Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. So Usyk, he even fired his K2 Promotions team, right? So he says that he informed Eddie Hearn, and Eddie Hearn told him that it's his fault, partly his fault, due to the fact that he could have worn the same exact gloves Derek Chisora wore. Wow. So now we get Vasyl Lomachenko. He's saying that the judge was bribed. Well, in this case, I watched the fight now about 4 to 5 times, 4.5 times. I didn't finish the 5th time, right? So 4.5 times. And I still see it the same way every time I watch it. I thought Teofimo Lopez won the first 6 rounds. The 7th round, if you want to give him the 7th round, you can give him Lomachenko the 7th round, but it's a toss-up round that I give to Teofimo Lopez. Then I gave Lomachenko 8, 9, 10, and 11. Then I gave Teofimo Lopez round 12. Clearly, he ran away with round 12. So that means he won 8 rounds to 4, in my opinion. So I don't believe that there was any taintedness going on with this entire situation. I think it's simply a case of Vasyl Lomachenko not being able to accept this defeat to a guy that's very young, 23 years old. He only had one big fight going into this fight, and that was against IBF. He was the mandatory for Richard Coleman, who was the IBF champion, and he knocked out Richard Coleman. But leading up into that, he hadn't had any big major fights. But now his win over Nakatani is looking even better. Should I say, after Nakatani just recently stopped Felix Verdejo in dramatic fashion. So his win over Nakatani is starting to look better and better. So with that said, I just truly believe that Lomachenko, all of the hype, all of the praises that he was getting, they were calling him the Matrix. They said that he was an anomaly within the sport of boxing. He was something that was never even seen. He was, just as good or greater than the likes of Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather, Sugar Ray Leonard, Pernell Whitaker. This is the conversation that they were putting Vasyl Lomachenko in, mainly because of his amateur background. Him having 300, 400 amateur fights and only 2 losses or something of that nature, right? 1 loss, right? 365-1 or something of that nature, right? So he gets a lot of praises for that. He's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. And he came into the pro ranks going right into championship fights, right? Because of, once again, his amateur background. And now he's stating that he has been wrongfully done in his fight with Teofimo Lopez. But I'm here to tell you, there's no foul play here. At least not in my belief. I watched the fight now 4.5 times. And like I said, first 6 rounds straight out the gate went to Teofimo Lopez. So we know Teofimo Lopez clearly won the 12th round. Now, let's just look at this from this standpoint. There's only 12 rounds in the fight, okay? And if Teofimo Lopez won the first 6 rounds, only thing Lomachenko could do from that point forward is get a draw from that point forward, right? Because there's only 6 more rounds in the fight, unless he got a few knockdowns, a few 10-8 rounds. But for the most part, the most he could do is get a draw at that point, right? But we know Teofimo Lopez clearly won the 12th round, right? There's no doubt he clearly won the 12th round. So that's 7 rounds. So at the very least, he won 7 rounds to 5. So for Vasyl Lomachenko, these are some serious allegations that he could say that he knows that the judges were bribed, that somebody paid them off to go in the route of Teofimo Lopez. Now, I'm confused as to why people would do that with all of the high praise that Vasyl Lomachenko was getting up until that point. He was considered the Matrix. Like I said, he was the greatest thing, since Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson, Pernell Whitaker, right? They were saying he was an anomaly, right? You haven't seen anything like Vasyl Lomachenko. So why would they want to knock him down a peg, right? They want to build on his profile. You want to build on the hype machine behind him, right? You want to elevate that. You don't want to take away from that. Why have him lose to a guy that's 23 years old who has the future? He has at least another 10 years within the sport of boxing. Vasyl Lomachenko is 32, 33 years old. He don't have another 10 years within the sport of boxing. So if anything, right, I can see them giving it to Lomachenko over Teofimo Lopez because they look at Teofimo Lopez and say he can rectify his career. Lomachenko doesn't have the same amount of time. He's not awarded the same comfort, right? The same cushion because he don't have as much time. So I can't understand why would Bob Arum, legendary promoter, top-ranked CEO, who had high praise for Vasyl Lomachenko, who was one of the people that said he's the greatest thing. We know Bob Arum promoted Floyd Mayweather. He promoted Oscar De La Hoya. He promoted Pernell Whitaker. He promoted Muhammad Ali, okay? He promoted some of the greatest fights in the history of the sport of boxing. If not all, just about all of them, he was involved in, right? So he had high praise for Vasyl Lomachenko. So why would Bob Arum want to step out on that limb, right, and shortchange Vasyl Lomachenko? Because in return, he's shortchanging himself. So I can't see Bob Arum doing such a thing, right? But And the flip side of that, right, like I stated, the ESPN and the platform and the network in which Lomachenko fights on, they were seeing him, viewing him as high praise, right? You had all the color commentators, praising Lomachenko, talking about his footwork, right? They never seen footwork like him. The Matrix style, his defense, his angles, right? The hype machine was at an all-time high. So I can't see why they want to pull the rug from underneath that, because it only benefits them. It hurts them to do such a thing. So this is a case where I feel like Lomachenko simply just cannot accept the fact that he lost to Teofimo Lopez, who was a young kid, only 23 years old, and hadn't had a big, huge fight. And there was a lot of going back and forth, right? There was a rivalry there, right? Because Teofimo Lopez and his father, Teofimo Lopez Sr., who's the manager trainer of Teofimo Lopez, right? He was calling out Lomachenko from quite some time before he was even thought of in a fight with Richard Coleman, right? He was saying that we're going to defeat Lomachenko. Teofimo Lopez was uttering the same sentiments, that they know they're going to beat Vasyl Lomachenko, right? Teofimo Lopez and Teofimo Lopez Sr., they were very, very confident they was going to win this fight. And so, I think that he just have a hard time this is a tough pill for him to swallow. He lost this fight, and he don't know where to go from there, right? Because now he's been knocked off a peg. And the biggest reason, I believe, is because a lot of people felt like Teofimo Lopez was bigger, stronger, and younger, so that would be the factor. But the case is, that would be the major factor in him losing if Teofimo Lopez was to win. But the fact remains is that he got outboxed in this fight, right? Nobody expected that. He did the unthinkable. He clearly outboxed Vasyl Lomachenko for the first 6-7 rounds. And then he did it again in the 12th round. And that's where people were surprised, because they thought if any masterclass boxing was going to be going on, it was going to be on the part of Vasyl Lomachenko. But instead, it was role reverse, and the masterclass boxer was Teofimo Lopez, and Vasyl Lomachenko just cannot accept it. Point blank and period. So that's all I got for y'all. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Find me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Raw. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.